and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are here, and if you are watching in real time, I would just like to wish you a very happy October 3rd. I can't believe we're already 3 days into 31 days of Halloween. I just know this month is going to fly by, and I am so excited to be spending yet another day with you guys. If you're new to my channel and you're like, I have no idea what she's talking about right now, I upload every single day, 31 days back to back for the month of October. Then I resume my regular upload schedule in November and upload once again every single day in the month of December. So if you enjoy my content, now is a really, really good time to click that subscribe button, join the family, and trust me, if you enjoy spooky content, I've got some things up my sleeve. I have a couple insane documentaries that, I'm so excited to share with you guys. They are just about to be done, so bear with me, but be prepared for the next couple of days to get some insane content, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm biased. Of course I'm biased. In natural 31 days of Halloween tradition, for today's video, we are diving into a paranormal game that people are playing, but more specifically, a paranormal game that's circulating amongst others on TikTok. Now, these games are incredibly dangerous, even to somebody who's educated on what they're doing, let alone those who are maybe younger or impressionable or don't believe. So I wanted to sit down today, talk about these trends that are going all around online, and share with you guys why these games are dangerous, just in case you decide this spooky season that you want to play one of these paranormal games, or you're curious, at least you know the dangers behind it and the reality of playing games of this nature. Now, quick disclaimer that I always give before these types of videos. I am not sitting here and saying that every single person who indulges in these games or plays with a Ouija board or contacts the other side is going to have some dark demonic experience or attachment. What I am saying though is that this stuff is very real. You have to be super careful if you're going to indulge in things of this nature. And I just think having this platform and doing what I do here on YouTube, it's my responsibility, or I feel it's my responsibility, just to talk about these things and kind of let you know what could happen, what's said to happen, and why certain games, even if they're just created by a person, could actually summon an entity or a dark attachment. So without further ado, let's get into today's video because I have a lot to say. Naturally, you guys know recently I've been seeing more of like the dark sides of TikTok. You guys have been tagging me a ton in some really creepy TikToks. Please keep them coming. I love to watch them and see them. But obviously, with it being Halloween around the corner, it's the month of October, people who maybe normally don't even look for spooky stuff are now on the internet searching, trying to find things to give them that thrill, the scary movies, the creepy legends, the stories, and trust me, I get it, but I've noticed that there have been a lot of people, for I don't know if it's just the sake of views or talking about scary stuff, that have been talking about certain games and certain entities online gaining millions of views, and they are just so beyond dangerous. And one of the things that I'm referencing, I have a whole other video on this, so I won't get into this in this particular video, but the particular Ouija board demon has been being promoted to, what I could tell from the comments, a majority of a younger audience in a way that it's so thrilling and so exciting to try to contact said demon. For the sake of those of you who feel very uncomfortable when I brought that up by name in that past video, I will just have the name on the screen here. I won't say that out loud. But I just want to say, if you haven't watched my video on said Ouija board demon, I will have it linked in my description box. Definitely watch that before you decide to go to a Ouija board and try to summon him. And one more thing I want to say on that note before we get into this specific game we're talking about today is, in some of these videos that I was being tagged in, not only were people being encouraged to see what they could see with this demon, see what they could bring to them, but also being encouraged to play alone, which is a very dangerous thing to do. It's actually one of the rules of the Ouija board that I think everybody should be educated on. Do not play with a Ouija board by yourself. Do not play with a Ouija board if you're in a negative or dark headspace or you feel sick or under the weather. Yeah, but I'll have my Ouija board videos linked down below and said demon. With that being said, once I was being tagged in these particular videos, naturally more videos started coming up, and I noticed that there was a specific ritual that many people are promoting to do and to play. And when I dug into this particular game / ritual and I kind of looked into it more, I realized how truly dangerous this could be for a number of reasons, even outside the urban legend associated with it. And that is the thumb paranormal game, or otherwise known as Find the Thumb paranormal game. Now, I know some of you are probably listening to this like, whoa, that doesn't sound scary whatsoever. What's so scary about finding a thumb? But it's the ritual that follows and the story and energy behind the story, whether it be an urban legend or not, that makes this game so dangerous. So I'm gonna get into exactly what the urban legend or the legend and story behind the game is. Then I'm gonna explain how it's played. Again, I'm in no way encouraging you by telling you how to play it to go and play it. I just kind of want to break down why this is so dangerous, because I was tagged and had seen multiple videos of young teenagers playing it and playing it completely wrong. So the thumb game is actually a Japanese urban legend revolving around what is said to have been a 20-year-old girl who was brutally murdered in a villa. Now, when this actually originated from, where the story is said to have taken place, I'm not sure, but in a lot of the forums I was reading, people were saying that it dates back as far as they can remember. This woman was said to have been in a villa or a vacation type home when she was brutally murdered, and her body was cut apart. Her limbs and everything were all over this villa. But upon investigation, all body parts were accounted for except for her left thumb. The purpose, or I guess the object of this game, is to gather with 3 or more people and attempt to find said thumb. Now, if you find the thumb, it is said that you'll be granted a wish of your choice. If you don't find the thumb, granted that you played the game properly, you can go on with life as normal once returning to the physical realm, and we'll get into that in a second. But if you were to have made critical mistakes along the way of playing this game and had not found the thumb, you are said to wind up in another dimension, killed yourself, and essentially never return to your real life. So the main way of playing this game, I'm just gonna kind of break it down because it's a pretty simple premise on surface level and on paper, but it goes a lot deeper and darker. Essentially, you're supposed to form a circle and sit on the ground, and you will grab the left thumb of the person on your right, obviously. So almost forming a circle, holding one another's thumbs. You would be holding the right thumb of the person to your left and vice versa. Now, one major rule with this particular game is that you absolutely at no given point in time, especially while initiating said ritual, you cannot let go of the other person's thumb. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up so early on is a lot of these young kids that I saw playing the game would get scared as it was starting, and many of them were letting go of the thumbs. And we'll get into why that is so dangerous, but it's important to start out by holding everyone's thumb. At this point, everybody closes their eyes and takes themselves to what they imagine this villa was. Now, what they say in the rules of this game is that it's incredibly important for the players to get as much into detail within their minds as possible. Like, every little detail of the villa needs to be imagined. So if I was trying to imagine my office, I'd be imagining the colors of my door handles, the way that the light shimmers off of, like, every little detail. You need to put yourself into this villa. Some people were questioning how, if we're all visualizing different villas, are we going to the same place? But what's interesting is this is a whole other thing with multiple dimensions and parallel universes and whatnot. What you're imagining could exist simultaneously to what they are imagining. For an example, the things that I would visualize and imagine when I would think of our condo may look very different than the things that Tyler would visualize or see. And it doesn't really matter what you're visualizing, you're taking yourself to that space energetically. Now, while the game is in progress, they say it's really important to keep your eyes closed. It is incredibly important to not let go of the thumbs, and you need to put yourself into this visualization deeply. I've read on different forums to do with the game that there are some chants you could do. Some people think that you can just visualize and put yourself into that space, or mentally call upon said spirit of the girl, but that kind of varies based on who's writing out the rules of the game. So now that you've visualized, you will be transported to what you have manifested within your mind, to this villa. Now here's where it gets interesting. There are people who believe they're actually physically transported to this location and they feel as though their physical body went there, but others believe that it's their soul essentially astral projecting to this space, be it in a parallel universe, an alternate dimension, or whatever the case may be, whether it's an actual physical location. Now I'm going to continue with the rules, but I do want to emphasize at this point, with that note being said, astral projection is very, very real. I have also done a ton of videos on it. And so that's where I also believe when you're trying to manifest such a dark scene, such a horrific thing, and you're essentially heading there within your mind, you're asking spirit, you're asking energies to transport you there. Where are you actually going and what are you truly summoning? Because one thing I didn't mention was that while you're doing this visualization, you're supposed to visualize what occurred there as well. So now you're in this villa, this space that you've basically manifested either within your mind or spiritually. And once you arrive there, there will be a single candle on the floor. Now I've read on some that the candle is white, others have said it's just a candle, that there's no really specification of how it looks. But the very important thing to note is that you must start looking for the thumb immediately, because you only have until that candle burns out. It can't burn out. You only have till that candle is blown out to be transported back to your physical realm. So while you're looking for this thumb, you're looking in every nook, cranny, and corner, you have to be keeping an eye on the candle, because you need to be the one to blow out the candle before the candle burns out. Now while you're at this villa looking for the thumb, it is said that people often feel tapping or banging on their shoulders. They feel tempted to open their eyes, to turn around to look at what it is, but you can absolutely never do so. If you are being tapped on the shoulder while playing this game, you do not turn around and you do not look at what is tapping you. There are many who say that if you do turn around and look at whatever is tapping you, not only will you never leave the villa, but who you were prior to playing this game will no longer exist. Some say that you'll be killed, you'll disappear. There's a bunch of different outcomes that it could be, but regardless, you don't leave where you went. Actually, this one here says you will be forced to remain there eternally, tapping people on the shoulder twice and then murdering them. Instead of being a missing person, you will be the person doing that to people. So if you find the thumb, you're supposed to hold on to the thumb tightly, blow out the candle, and therefore proceed with your wish. If you do not find the thumb and the candle's burning out, you need to go and blow out that candle and return to your physical form. Now it does say, should you have followed all of the rules properly, you didn't let go of the thumbs, you kept your eyes closed when you were supposed to, you didn't turn around, you did all the steps properly, there are plenty of people who say life just kind of goes back to normal and they try again another time, or they just think it's fake. But if you should have done any of the steps improperly, it is said that you will essentially be meeting your fate. Now, there are some people who I was reading in different forums. Now, granted, this is not in the actual game rules. This is people's thoughts and theories who have experienced this game, who believe that should you not return to your body, perhaps one of the things tapping on you takes over and it becomes a possession of sorts, while your soul remains trapped in wherever you manifested, wherever that was. And even right here it says, the thumb game can be very dangerous. We recommend that you do not play it unless you memorize all the rules beforehand. A mistake could cost you your life. So again, I've been seeing people sitting in the circles, filming themselves playing this game and startling one another or becoming startled and letting go of the thumbs or turning around saying they felt or saw something behind them. Now, whether it's just theatrics, they're just trying to play it up for a video, I just think it's so crazy to ever play a paranormal game where you are essentially reaching out to a spirit, to an entity unknown, and asking to be transported to that space and recognizing that there is something or someone behind you that could cause harm to you. Here's the thing. Could this game be an urban legend, a fun, spooky thing that people do and have done over the years? Absolutely. But when you open the door to the other side, you don't get to decide what you call upon. You don't get to say, I want to see this 20-year-old girl and that's it. That's all that I'm summoning. When you are performing anything ritualistic, when you're contacting the other side, you have to recognize that that energy is bringing forth other energies as well. Like-minded energies attract. High vibrations attract high vibrations. That's why law of attraction and manifestation works. Low vibrations naturally attract low vibrations. When you look at a game of this nature, regardless of whether or not the urban legend is true, whether there was truly a 20-year-old girl who was cut up, that is a low vibration. The act of what is said to have happened to her is a low vibration. The fact that you are going into it understanding that whatever is around you could cause harm to you, that you could transport yourself to a place that if you don't do everything properly, you will not return to your physical body, whether that's just spiritually or in what way, shape, or form that could be. That's why I'm so intentional when I go to haunted locations. That's why I don't push the boundaries the way that people sometimes want me to. Because when I start asking anything to come forward, when I start asking things to physically manifest, to throw things across the room, to do things to me, I don't get to decide what comes forward and says, all right, let's do that. When I was at the Warren's Occult Museum, Tony Spera himself said that people could open a door today and nothing could happen. And a year or two later, that door was still open or that entity still came towards them. So you have to be so careful when you're opening any portal, be it a Ouija board, be it my spirit boxes. You have to protect yourself. You have to be careful. You have to respect the paranormal because, like I said, well, everybody's not going to have a scary experience. Well, everybody's not going to have a negative experience. Darkness does exist. This world is very real. And I just think people should be made aware of the dangers of dabbling in things of this nature before playing. I'm not saying you shouldn't play. I'm not your mother. I'm just saying I think that everyone should know. And when I see these TikToks where it's like, summon this Ouija board demon, here's how you summon him, play by yourself, it's gonna be so scary, here's my experience, and I'm seeing in the comments like, oh my god, like I'm gonna try this with my friends, like this sounds so cool. It's cool when you're watching a Hollywood movie, it's not cool when it's your own reality. That's my rant, that's my bit, and that is the thumb game. And now with all of that warning being said, I am curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the thumb game. Do you think that this truly happened? Do you think it was a urban legend turned game? And where do you think people are going when they do transport themselves? Because there are plenty of people who believe they truly left their physical body. And again, I believe wholeheartedly in astral projection. So I'm not saying that's out of the realm of possibility. With that being said, that is it for today's video. I hope it didn't come off as preachy. I just feel like I watched so many videos in a row and I was like, don't do that. Like, this is real stuff. Whether that game itself is real, this is a real world and you gotta be so careful when you're entering it. There is so much beauty in the spiritual realms. There is so much good and light too. But I just want to keep you protected from the darkness. So always protect yourself in a white light, especially whenever trying to communicate with the other side. Cleanse yourself. If you want, I'll finally do the video showing you how we cleanse ourselves before and after every single investigation that I go on. And yeah, I'm even going to cleanse my space now after speaking about these things. So just little things that go on behind the scenes that keep it safe and in the name of light and love. But that is it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Have fun this spooky season, but please be safe. I cannot wait to see you again in tomorrow's video and every day for the month of October. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until tomorrow, I love ya.